Welcome to Fantasy Island.
A plane!
One more time and say the plane.
Okay.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
The plane!
Welcome back to The Gentleman Psychic. You know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be among the first to receive updates on videos like this and many others. Also, check me out on patreon.com under The Gentleman's House. So, this video is about last week or so. Some friends and I went to the Arboretum, which is located not far from where I live in Pasadena. And it's this beautiful garden where they have plants from all over the world, a beautiful Victorian cottage. All of this you're going to see. However, this video is the video we intended for you to see. We did not, however, understand or realize that there's going to be two videos. This is in fact a two-part video because in the next one is going to be more, shall we say, paranormal. Until then, enjoy this video. See you in a moment.
Hey, look at the giant cocks. Peacocks, that is. Did you know in early Roman times, the peacock represented funerals, death, and immortality? For their shiny feathers rarely faded, it was a sign of immortality. Christians adopted this belief and used it for resurrection, including pictures of peacocks and their feathers on catacomb walls. But peacocks also bore the responsibility for the fall of man, and some sort of devil's assistant, as they were. Their cries, if more than usual, foretold a death in the family. Some folktales claim that the peacock was in the Garden of Eden, as the Arab belief see it as a bird of ill omen. One thought being it brought the devil into paradise, while the second reason was the devil watered the vine partially with the blood of the peacock. That said, they have a long withstanding association with human pride and vanity. For Victorians, peacocks were a reminder of the moral compass. Boys and girls, be not like the peacock, proud and vain. On account of your beauty and your fine clothes, humility and goodness are always to be preferred to beauty. An oak, vital tree among many cultures, it is one of the tallest and strongest trees in the forest. Considered sacred and often used as a meeting place, Britons under Roman occupation worshipped a goddess of the oak, Daran. Churches were placed over or in the vicinity of symbolic oaks. For example, St. Bridget's at Kildare, which meant Church of the Oak. In British fairy lore, the oak is one of the three primary magical kinds of wood, along with ash and thorn. With oak trees being struck by lightning more often than other trees, it stood for an important message from the gods, while the sheer height of the oak and its low electrical resistance was likely the cause. Oak leaves were used as a symbol of victory and were given as wreaths to soldiers in battle. Since oaks are one of the last trees to have their leaves fall, with some never occurring, this showed determination and a no-quit attitude. The same attribute wanted for a military leader, but not a president, let me say. The longevity of an oak represents wisdom. Druids held gatherings, ate of the fallen acorns, hoping to see into the future, while the ancient Slavs settled disputes under it. Native American chiefs used it for their meetings, and its shade was even mentioned as a camp of Robin Hood. Oak tree's height was thought to extend into the ethos of the gods. At the same time, the roots are connected to the underworld. In some cultures, ancestors' souls are said to live among those roots. The oak tree is also seen in folklore as a king that battles the holly king, not just of light and darkness, but also of renewal of crops. In midsummer, the oak king is at the height of his power, whereas the holly king, in autumn bring spring, and the oak king returns.
So these beautiful plants on both sides of me, they're bay laurel. Bay leaves is actually a very common ingredient. It's a very common spice. And if you remember, I was talking about lavender and you can put it under your pillow. Another one you can put under your pillow is bay leaves. It's supposed to be sacred to the god Apollo. It is also supposed to help you with prophetic dreams. It is also supposed to help you manifest money. You can dry them out and burn them and sort of send your intention out into the universe that way.
Here we are at the Queen Anne Cottage, and Lorin, you have a little bit to say on the subject.
I do. Elias Jackson Lucky Baldwin was a notable businessman that, upon news of the gold rush in 1853, decided not to stake his claim in gold, but rather in supplies and accommodations for the miners. Where there was a need, he met it, and Baldwin bought stocks in mines and further his land investments, growing out his fortune. In 1885, after several marriages, he provided his fourth wife, Lily Bennett, a honeymoon gift, the Queen Anne Cottage, while Lily's father, Albert Bennett, was the architect. It was apparently never used by them as they separated. Soon after, it stood as a memorial to his third wife, Jenny Dexter, who died in 1881 and apparently was haunting his thoughts. Inside, a glass portrait and oil painting of Jenny welcomes those who enter, and the cottage served as a guest house, serving friends, relatives, and business associates, including stars from his San Francisco-based Baldwin Theater and Hotel. Baldwin died in 1909, and his daughter Anita, kin of Jenny, shut down the cottage and sold all its furnishings. A terrible thing indeed, but some of the attached relics remain, such as the black walnut doors, marble fireplace mantles, and hearth tiles. In 1951, these artifacts, an original bathroom fixture, and exterior marble walkway were again reunited.
Side note, this was the opening scene from Fantasy Island back in the 70s. So here we are on the other side of the Queen Anne Cottage. My friends here are shaking their head at me. Fantasy Island.
The vanilla plant. The vanilla plant is a species of vanilla orchid. It is native to Mexico, the Caribbean, northern South America, and Central America. This is one of the primary sources of vanilla flavoring. It was first scented carefully named in 1808. This is used in a love potion too, and they make really good smelling, and you can make them with anything, chocolate chip cookies and like a lot of stuff, like baking stuff. So
Very. We are not at one of the greatest fashion houses, but this is the Coach Barn. What do you want to tell us about the Coach Barn?
Well, let me tell you.
This is not the Versace barn. Are you sure? Is that around the way?
That would be down, you've got to pass the pointing tree and so forth. But we are here at the Coach Barn for Lucky Baldwin, as he was known. And it was designed by the same architect, with features including cedar and redwood alternating slats and paneling, as well as iron grillwork. This barn saw to Baldwin's private and guest carriages. Horses were well cared for, with spacious stalls and hay and grain chutes that delivered food from the loft above. A coachman would have originally slept in the upper tower, but that has been remade in the downstairs tack room. In the west room, you would find normally a tally-ho carriage purchased by Baldwin from the Philadelphia Centennial Exposition in 1876. Over here we have the cute little Victorian doghouse, which was many a home for bull mastiffs, his ranch guard dogs. Let's take a tour around the house. Or actually barn, sorry. Some live here though. And you were describing this as a fairy tale motif, correct?
Yeah, it's called Folk Cottage, Folk, Queen, and Victorian. What makes it folk is the craftsmanship, the wood and the paneling.
I wish you guys were here to smell this, because if you could, you would know immediately what this is. This is one of my favorite plants, and this would be rosemary. Rosemary is one of the most versatile herbs you're going to find. The fragrance, it is supposed to help you with alertness. It's really great in like tea in the morning, but it's also actually a mosquito repellent, so it's a very practical plant. My father grows rosemary. As far as care, rosemary is actually really simple to care for. It's a hardy plant. It's fine outdoors. You can also grow it in a pot if you wanted to, but it does really want sunlight, so it doesn't do too well inside.
I'm not too familiar with rosemary, but I love her baby.
Oh, for God's sake.
When the night shade has come and your drink is poisoned and you don't wake up in the morning.
Well, we see here that this is one of the members of the nightshade family. And Mandrake, which I was going to cover, we haven't been able to find exactly where that is. It is poisonous. What we're doing here is informative only, so do not try without consultation of an elder or some sort of doctor or mentor to touch or use these. However, Mandrake is considered one of the most mysterious and powerful magic herbs. Mandrake was used as an anesthetic and for sleep, and the Druids are thought to have used mandrake and henbane, ivy, hops, wild lettuce, and poppy to produce a trance. In medicine, the leaves are used as an ointment for ulcers, and early Chinese and European doctors used it as a pain reliever and sedative. American mandrake is also called mayapple or wild mandrake, and has skinny brown roots that resemble the larger European mandrake, which is so-called with arms and legs. Now the exact shape of the mandrake, as I turn my page, gives rise to another nickname called witch's umbrella, supposedly used by witches to poison their enemies. Every part is poisonous, as I said, and Native Americans eventually developed remedies from the plant. Today it is used as a topical treatment and in some cases an anti-cancer drug. I go on.
One of my favorite plants is lavender. And you actually see this in everything. You're going to find lavender in soap, you're going to find lavender in lotion. It's well known to be very soothing. People will put it in their tea before bed. People will even put little satchels of it in their pillow. It's supposed to help you have prophetic dreams. It grows outside very, very well. It does not grow inside at all. I've tried, but outside it's wonderful. It can survive a nice cold snap if it happens. It can survive a lot of full sun. It's a very versatile plant. As you can see here, it's actually also very popular with bees. You get bees, you get butterflies, you get all sorts of critters coming to smell your lavender. You can also put lavender with your sage if you're doing a smoke cleanse. It can help to kind of calm things down, clear out the energy in the house. It's one of my favorite plants. There's a reason it's very versatile.
Vervain, or verbena as it's called, also is considered enchanter's herb. It's used for protection, for incantations and offerings. If ingested, it is a diuretic and detoxifier for the body and mind. But in medicine, it is an anti-inflammatory and has been used to relieve bronchitis and also helps clear up phlegm. It is sometimes used to treat depression and lighten a mood. With its beautiful lilac flowers, vervain was traditionally mixed in wine and worn on the head during midsummer's festivals. Here we have the Buckeye. This is specifically a California Buckeye, but what you'll notice, these are very toxic. You could technically leach this, break this open, and there might be some meat inside of this, but you can see a little eye, right? In Ohio, they call that the deer's eye for the Buckeye, Buckeye. And it was actually, it's traditionally used as a form of good luck and may have been worn around the neck. And I put this as well.
Do you remember what this plant is called?
Yes, it is the mineral.
It
It's
is
the
not.
yarrow plant.
Yeah.
What do we know about the yarrow plant?
It helps with cramps and pains. And it helps with shaking wounds.
Thank you, brother.
Lucky little devil, I worry more and more over your popularity. How can I picture you getting sweet on me?
So they wouldn't let us into the garden. That's because the last time I was in a garden, they called me a bad apple. Hey, thank you so much, and thank you at home. Thank you to my top-tier Patreon, D. Lucero, who has been with me, and I appreciate you. I appreciate all of my patrons. You really mean the world to me. I've got so many that I want to say thank you to, but Mary Jane King, Lorin Morgan-Richards, so many people I want to say thank you to. Lady Alexandra, but you know her, she was there. Anyway, so link is in the bio if you want to join us on Patreon. It's a great way to support the channel. It is viewers like you who keep independent work like this afloat. Now, if I am not your brand, if I'm not your liking, make certain that you find an independent artist to support. Now, only if you can, only if it is not going to make things rough on you. If you can, we love you. If you can't, we love you. We love you anyway. So make certain that you find me on thegentlemanpsychic.com. You can find me on Facebook under The Gentleman Psychic. You can find me on Patreon under the Gentleman's House. Yeah, link in the bio. Anyway, it's all in the bio. Until next time, I have been your host, Richard-Lael Lillard, The Gentleman Psychic.